All right, people, here's an idea. A wild, wackadoo idea. Um, I want to file criminal charges against all of Congress. That's right, all of Congress. And the President, all of them, right? So, House, Senate, President. Why, you ask? It's a great question. Keep those great questions coming. This is why. Because they are guilty of theft, misappropriation of funds. But embezzlement, I guess, might be the the closest to what I'm talking about. This is why. Number one, the United States of America is a corporation. It's incorporated. Every state is incorporated. All the major cities and most other smaller cities and towns are incorporated. It means they're in business. Just like if you get an LLC for your business, that's now a corporation. Well, that's what the United States is, and DC and every state. They're a corporation. Now, as the corporation of the United States of America, they're tasked with taking our money, taxpayers' money, and spending it for all the things that we, the people, need, that the country needs to be strong, financially and militarily, everything. Now, the federal government, because they are tasked, they are in charge of our money, they have a fiduciary responsibility to spend our money in the best way for the country. Not for them or certain people, but for the whole country. This is their obligation, right? And they failed to do that. And every year, they keep failing and keep failing and keep failing. And essentially, so they'll send money elsewhere without asking us. And when you do ask us, overwhelmingly, many times, the people say, no, we don't want our money going to Zimbabwe for some transgender stuff. Why would you do that? Did you ask us? Does that help America? No. And no. So it's theft. Do you understand? It's actual theft. If you're a fiduciary, meaning you are responsible for people's money. So, if, for example, if you're like on money management or some law firms, and so if you misappropriate those funds and and use it on things that aren't going to benefit your client, that's illegal. And now, if it's just that, you can be sued, but if you're called out on it by your clients and you tell your clients, nothing to see here, folks, go away. You can't tell me what to do. That type of attitude. And then you keep taking their money and spending it here and there that doesn't benefit them at all. And then on top of that, ask that person, that client, to then give you more of their money because there's not enough um, to invest because they put it in places that you didn't want. Do you understand what I'm saying? And so, in other words, we are the client. The federal government is the fiduciary in question, and they are misappropriating our funds. without asking us, and in many cases without telling us what they're doing with that money, and that money isn't benefiting us at all. And in some cases, it's hurting us. And because it's actually hurting us, for example, the border, and then, of course, squandering our money on nonsense, tens of billions, hundreds of billions, I would imagine it's probably every year, and then asking us to pay higher taxes, or they have other ways to get the money, raise permit fees, raise fines, you know what I'm saying? And so if they're doing that in order to get more money, and they're strong-arming you to do it. Because if you don't pay your taxes, well, what happens? You have armed government officials coming to your door with threats of putting you in prison or worse. That's strong-arming. That's what that is. They're squandering your money, telling you have to pay more taxes, and when you refuse, they lock you up. That's a crime. Under any other circumstances, that would be a crime, punishable by imprisonment. And I guarantee it is a crime. And some people say, well, they're politicians, so they're not immune. They are not immune. They're not immune. They're stealing our money, squandering it, and then trying to fleece us for more money. And when we don't pay, or we have the audacity to question it, then they have us under investigation and possible court proceedings and conviction for us standing up for our rights, for our money. So you understand? So they are a corporation, and they do have a fiduciary responsibility to spend our money in the most frugal way to take care of all the daily operations of the country so that we thrive. And they're not doing that. They're doing whatever they want with it, basically. I mean, you see this new atrocity, this monstrosity, $1.2 trillion of our money, your money. And so much of it is on bullshit. Absolute bullshit. It's going to other countries for transgender stuff, going to, for podcasts. What? It's nonsense. Again, no one asked us. No one told us. They just ram it through. Also, side note, the way they ran through these big multi-issue bills is not actually legal, because they're doing it under coercion, forcing you to vote on it with not enough time to have read 1,000 pages of lawyer gobbledygook. I mean, there's maybe 10 pages of substance, and the rest is lawyer doublespeak. So you need days with a team of people to cipher through that to see what's in it. And of course, nobody will agree with everything that's in it if you did that. So they ram it through. They say you have to vote. Well, that's coercion. Therefore, whatever vote on it, if it votes to pass, that's illegal. I mean, that's it's null and void. It's just like a contract. If I coerce you, pressure you to sign the contract is null and void. You can't do that. And I've been trying to contact, Senator. I contacted my rep, no response. Contacted Marjorie Taylor Greene, no response. I've been trying to contact our governor, no response. I never get any. I mean, at least if I, especially if I'm in your district, at least have the courtesy to send me a message saying, "Hey, we received your message, and we appreciate your um, participation, and we'll get back to you." Something. Just let me know, acknowledge that you received it. But I never get nothing, not even a word. So are they even listening? Or do they just, delete it right away and don't even bother, or just see it and go, ah. I mean, I don't know. So anyway, got a little off target there, but the bottom line is the vast majority of, especially in the federal government, politicians, House and Senate, President, Vice President, these are criminals, straight out criminals. And they're straight out stealing our money and not doing it in a fiscally responsible way, which they are tasked to do, and then thumbing their noses, saying, "Oh, too bad." Basically, essentially laughing at us. And I know nothing would come of it if you try to file charges. But let's do it. Let's have a class action lawsuit against the federal government. And do that, and then try and file a criminal complaint. Again, it's not going to go anywhere, but at least you have it on record. You filed it, and then file a class action lawsuit on behalf of the American people. So, all right. Sorry, I'm just frustrated. So.